become a black belt. You're not given a black belt, you don't buy a black belt, you don't ask for a black belt. You become one, and you earn it. It is something that you earn over many years of time. But more than just earn it, it is something you become. By the time you come to take it, you already possess the quality and the skill of that level of grade. Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. We can break those down, and we could talk about each one for an hour. But each of those elements are what it takes to become a black belt. And the wording there is really important. You become a black belt.
Ronaldo is a good boy. I'm his like a kung fu master. So for me, I'm really like, proud that I have a student like him for his age, Oh my goodness, he's amazing, really. He practices very hard, everyday practice. I think next level, he's gonna do the black belt test. Oh, I think he's gonna do great.
In the U.S., California has now reported its first death from COVID-19, and the governor of that state just declared a statewide emergency.
The sudden closure of schools has been extremely difficult for students all around the Bay.
There will be no extracurricular activities taking place beginning today. Stay safe, Bearcats. Wash your hands, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
When the pandemic happened, both of my schools closed down. Everyone was scared of COVID. We never knew that it was going to be this bad.
Hello, everyone. Today, the public health officer of Alameda County, along with 6 other Bay Area County public health officers, issued a joint shelter-in-place order in an effort to slow the spread of COVID-19.
I had to stay in the house day after day after day, watching and listening to the news and hearing Trump make one foolish statement after the other.
It's going away. No, it'll go away. Things go away.
1,000 Americans are dying a day.
They are dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way, right? And then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute. And is there a way we can do something like that? Injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Shortly after, there were a lot of lightning strikes that struck the Bay Area and caused a whole lot of wildfires.
Multiple wildfires have now burned into each other, creating massive spans of flames called complexes. Hundreds of wildfires ravaging the state. The Bay Area, now the hardest hit of all.
There was so much smoke that literally the sky turned orange.
The orange glow from wildfires burning miles away, shrouding the city's landmarks, the smoke blocking out the sun. The middle of the day felt like dusk, and it is unnerving.
I was wondering what time it was, and then I looked outside and it looked like doomsday.
2020 was a very difficult year. I'm sure it felt like doomsday for a lot of people. But imagine what it felt like for the children, many of which have been impacted in ways that have yet to be revealed.
Kids across the country have been cooped up for weeks, if not months, because of the extended COVID-19 lockdowns, and it may really be taking a toll. A recent report from the England charity Childhood Trust warns that kids and teens may develop serious mental health conditions because of the pandemic, including PTSD.
It was not the ideal situation, nor the best year to be pursuing a black belt. All of the challenges, the social ramifications, and then there were the racial uprisings.
In widespread unrest not seen in decades, American cities from Seattle to Washington, D.C. burned as many peaceful protests during the day turned to rioting and destruction by night. Governors in 12 U.S. states have activated National Guard troops to quell the violence and restore order.
No peace!
It was the latest move in a week of escalating tensions after George Floyd died in police custody.
During that time, I was not thinking about Kung Fu at all. I was mainly just thinking about what it would be like when COVID ends. So it was hard. It put my Kung Fu behind a lot.
Everybody ready?
The most leg or arms? I forgot. Arms? So today legs, okay?
Zoom classes do not work for Kung Fu. There's so much detail that students need to learn and be aware of, and there's so much correction and refinement that takes place within the course of one session so that they can walk out the door with a greater sense of mastery. And you just don't get that in Zoom.
So now that you guys know that coronavirus is having an outbreak still, the class I have to do is now on Zoom with some of the other students at US Shaolin. There aren't as many students as I thought there would be because the number is getting lower and lower by the month. So I'm having to do classes on Zoom, but Sifu Noah, who's one of the teachers at US Shaolin Kung Fu, who usually helps some of the students that are just beginning, like white belt, yellow belt, green belt, and so on, all the beginner belts, help them do some of their forms. So we asked him if he could teach me the broadsword form because it's one of the most, one of the beginning forms. Sifu Noah helped me a lot because he taught me how to do Song Che and broadsword. And it mainly just moved the process along faster. Pretty good today. We did way more moves than we thought we were gonna do. We had a nice flow. Like, he talked to me even about the basic things. Like, I mean, I might be a red black belt, but I can still fix like my classic bow stance, my classic horse stance. He made those better. Probably the toughest moves was like we're right here, and then I have to step back into a bow stance with my hand right here and my sword right here, because when I would step out, he said don't have your knee past your foot. So like when you're doing bow stance, he said your back leg straight, and then your knee has to match up with your foot. But if your knee is like this, no good, because it can touch your toe. You don't want it to be that hard forward, because then you can collapse forward. And also the back, your back foot it should be like this. This is the right way to do it. But the wrong way is like this. Because then you might fall forward and fall backwards. But yeah, that's probably the hardest part.
pandemic really provided us with a gift. It provided us with the gift of time, something that we would not have had otherwise. And so even though it was a struggle mentally to think about Kung Fu, we always kept our eyes on the prize, and it really helped to guide us through the pandemic so that we could see this light at the end of the tunnel.
So today is going to be our last session with Sifu Noah, finishing up our broadsword and our Sahung Che. So today is going to be like the Sifu Noah belt test of the broadsword and Sahung Che. After we do this session with Sifu Noah, then in about 2 weeks, we're going to have another a private lesson with Sifu Sang. So I have to prove to him that I'm ready to take my black belt test. It's going to help so then he can see that I'm definitely ready to take my test.
There we go.
What's up guys, this is Will from Monkey Steals Peach. I'm going to talk about the best thing and the worst thing about Chinese martial arts, which is forms. What actually are forms? Basically, a form is a set of techniques that are strung together. So I think the word set makes more sense than form. And set, in fact, would be a direct translation of the Chinese word, which is taolu or tao. In olden times, they would just call them quan, which just means fist, boxing. Forms are like textbooks or encyclopedias in that they list and codify all of the techniques within a given system, and they are choreographed together in a way that can teach you how to flow from one technique into another. So they'll often take certain techniques that fit well together and stick them together so that you can develop that flow within your movements, and that way you can get a feel for the flavor and the style of the system. They're not just strung together randomly, they are thought out very, very carefully, and they are the result of generations of people that have been thinking and training and fighting and improving. What you're doing when you're practicing and trying to understand a form is you're drawing on these generations of masters who've put their knowledge into it, and you're basically taking that and being able to use that. You're having that at your dispense.
We're back 7 months later at US Shaolin Kung Fu to resume private training so that you can get your black belt. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts?
I'm feeling pretty good going back. I know we have to wear our mask while we're in the class, which will be a little bit different, but overall I'm feeling pretty good.
And what are you anticipating or expecting today?
I'm probably just expecting a regular class just by myself today, so I don't think it'll be too different.
You know, good. It's better than what I thought. Okay, I can say you know it. You can do like just good, but it's not okay. Just like average. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So. Lack of like strength, the energy, the power. It's good, but you can do better. Okay? More feeling on it. If you want to just do regular, you pass. If you want to do better, you know, professionally, no.
When I went back, it was very hard because I went back to do private lessons. And in private lessons, you're the only one there. So I got pushed a whole lot, and it was just harder than usual.
While preparing for the black belt, we had the impression that, well, if we practiced all the time, that we would be ready to go ahead and regurgitate this and just execute and move on to the next set of tasks and challenges. It wasn't that way.
Like this. Ready? Go! Right up! You go straight up. You know, you straight up. Like, wow! When you reach your limit. Okay, then you up. Okay, don't just like on the go. You only think about side, 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 right? Yes! See, that's much better. I straight. I straight. One line, one straight line. Like this, okay? No, this was strong. Face it. Okay? Like this. If you stretch, if you go stretch, go. Again. Go harder. Harder. Quick! Harder! Punch! And when you do this motion, follow your hand. Your eyes, follow your hand.
People talk about taking things to another level, and certainly there are levels in martial arts. That's why you have your white belt all the way to your black belt. And so in between, you would surmise that there are different levels. But the reality is that when you become a black belt, it's about dimensions. And so all those dimensions contain various nuances, and the nuances are what we're really focused on during the private training. And that took time. And that took patience. And that took a lot of perseverance. He had to relearn and then reapply in order to execute at the level or in the dimension that his Sifu wanted him to.
Go step back. Go step back. That's it. Yes!
Everything was so much more intense. There was so much more attention to detail. And then some things were modified, and then some things were added. At the black belt level, the belief is that you should be able to perform things that you can't perform at a lower level. That was a bit surprising because we really thought it was about going in and demonstrating that he had practiced, but this wasn't about practice. This was about being superlative in the execution of the movements.
Tonight, Bay Area counties are considering more restrictions on businesses. They're seeing the spikes in COVID cases.
In the Bay Area, some counties could move from the orange tier to more restrictive red tier in days or weeks.
We go again. Alameda County, which is still in the orange reopening tier, is putting the brakes on future reopenings, but health officials are warning the county could soon be forced to roll back restrictions even more.
Cases are spiking, hospitalizations are increasing quickly, our infection rate is higher than it was at a point during the summer.
A grim warning tonight from San Francisco Mayor London Breed about COVID-19 case rates.
If this trend continues, we will see a hospital bed shortage around Christmas.
While just dire warnings were issued today, there were hints dropped that new changes could be coming to the city.
Our dangerous winter has arrived.
But then, a month later, he had to shut down again. I'd say the hardest part about the private lessons probably were, well, the first and foremost was the butt bounce. The butt bounce is a part of a form where you have to sit down straight and you have to basically bounce on your butt 5 times and swing the whip chain under you. That was really hard. It took me a long time to get it.
On Monday, indoor dining, indoor gyms, and fitness facilities, as well as indoor businesses in the entertainment industry, are among those that will be reopening.
Also scheduled to reopen are outdoor museums, zoos, outdoor entertainment, indoor fitness, but only if it's one-on-one, and indoor funerals. The San Francisco Health Department said it's confident things will improve as the vaccine continues to roll out. This despite several new variants of the virus, and even though San Francisco still has a relatively high level of cases.
Once I got it, my Sifu said he wanted me to do 25. Bro, I just got 5, man. Like, maybe we can go to 5 to 6 to 7, not 5 to 25. Like, that's insane. I thought he was crazy. Once I got my butt bounce part and my whip chain down, Sifu said I was ready to review all my other forms, and that got me one step closer to getting my black belt.
Compared to last time, much better. Becoming a black belt for me is really about mental strength, about being able to endure, learning how to navigate, how to deal with challenges. And so, as a dad, I really wanted him to get this training so that it can help him navigate many of the challenges that he's going to deal with in life as a young black man. And those challenges are different. They're very esoteric. And so when you're dealing with challenge, what do you do? When you deal with frustration, what do you do? How do you deal with a situation where you are in the minority and you see that other people are treated? What do you do? All those things are really important. All those lessons are taught in Kung Fu because he was often a minority. He saw or he experienced incidents where there was different types of treatment. And so for black people, it's really important that we know we have to work 2 to 3 times as hard in order to achieve the same results as our non-black peers.
Actually, you see, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, here it is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not, if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both. So therefore, it is not only, I mean, so therefore it's not pure naturalness or unnaturalness. The ideal is unnatural naturalness or natural unnaturalness. Shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot.
It's your belt test.
Now water can flow, or it can crash.
It's your belt test.
What do you say about the gong?
It's your belt test. And what time is it? It's your belt test.
We like water.
Today's the day it's the belt test.
Yeah.
It's the belt test. How you feeling when you wake up?
Tired.
Tired but ready?
And disturbed because I got woke up to a loud gong.
But do you feel ready?
Yeah.
Did you practice in your sleep?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's right. This might be the last morning you hear the gong.
Thank God.
Yes, indeedy. What are your thoughts early this morning?
Well, I thought I was gonna wake up later because I still have a lot of time in the day ahead of me. And my thoughts are, what is some stuff other than just the 2 parts in the whip train that I might want to do before the test? So just something light that I might want to do.
Mentally practicing.
No, like if there's like an actual physical move that I want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, but you feel like you're rested?
Yeah, I do.
Feel like you're prepared?
Yeah.
How's your energy level?
Not high because I just woke up.
Not high because it's what time? 7:28 now. Good luck, mijo.
Thanks.
You don't need it.
Well, no, but I appreciate it.
That's right. There's no magic.
There's only practice.
And you've had plenty of it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how you do today.
Okay.
The day of the belt test, he was surprisingly calm. I woke him up and I just wanted to see just where his mind was, and he didn't flinch at all. In fact, there was no time during the day that I ever got the sense that he had any anxiety or nervousness. And that's probably due to the fact that he had practiced so incredibly hard that the belt test was just the icing on the cake.
When I started taking my belt test, I was confident, which made me think back to when I took my first belt test. I was not confident. That made me realize how far I've come. And I thought back to that little 5-year-old boy finally getting his black belt. And I became really motivated for me and for him. And with the break of my first double board, I became a black belt and a member of the Black Belt Club.
Welcome to Black Belt Club.
Okay, so the black belt test is over. So how did you do? That means you did well.
Yeah?
How do you feel about how well you did?
I feel good about how I did.
And what did Sifu Sonny say to you when he presented you with your black belt?
He said, "Wow, you only made one mistake." Like.
You feel good about the overall execution?
I do feel great about that. I think I did good.
And what about the breaking of the board? How did that feel to get that over with? Because I know you were thinking about it, maybe you had some concerns about it. How did it feel to crash through that board?
It felt good. Because I did not think I was going to be able to get through 2 boards.
So now that you are a black belt, how are you going to celebrate?
By not waking up early on the weekdays and doing Kung Fu.
Well, how are you going to celebrate tonight?
I'm going to have a good dinner and good dessert, probably.
Sounds good. Simple, sophisticated, satisfying, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're proud of you. Congratulations. And let's go celebrate.
Thank you. Woo-woo!
Watching him get his black belt, it really felt like time was standing still. When Sifu Sonny leaned over and and said that he was in the black belt club, I just literally felt this shift in time. You feel the world slow down in terms of how fast it's spinning. And what I realize now in retrospect, that was just this sense of pride and accomplishment that converged on me at the same time. And then, you know, my mind just flashes back like a videotape being rewound, and I just see all the years of getting off work early, rushing to his school, changing him in the bathroom, rushing to Oakland, looking for a parking space, trying to get to class on time, the practicing before school, the practicing after school, driving in the weekends, trying to get, you know, classes in before he goes to another social activity. And then of course, you know, it just culminates in this black belt, which eludes so many. And it's something that I'm hoping that he will always be proud of and can draw on in terms of resolve and the spirit that he can do anything, and that he knows more significantly what it takes to achieve. He knows the requirements for success. And that to me is really what the black belt is about. I can't think of a better precursor for entering college than getting a black belt, because whatever is thrown at you in college, you've had it thrown at you before. The process of dealing with it and getting through it and being able to leverage that, the application of what you learned is very important. And Kung Fu teaches you how to do that. So it's a ride that was worth taking. It was a ride that was worth every penny spent, and there were a lot of pennies spent. And so I'm just happy that we've gotten to this point.
finished having my first video with the Alphabet Rockers.
Let's see how long it takes before you miss one. You almost missed it.
I did miss it.
You almost did.
But I did.
All right.
May I do one more song for you?
Oh, sure. We'd love to see that.
I'll do Shaolin.
Great.
I want to sit right there.
No, I want to sit right here.
Okay. Grace, is it okay if I start?
Yes, that's fine.
This way?
Sure.
I'll just do this one.
Whichever way you want.
This way. So, can I just not say the name?
Do whatever you want.
This time I'm gonna go quick.
Great. Mr. Fierro, was that the beginning of the 7-Star Fist?
Yes.
How did you learn that already?
7 months.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You're ready to do that, aren't you? Get this green belt out of the way.
Not the right one.
But you want to get the green belt out of the way, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for sharing all these wonderful demonstrations with us. We're going to go now.
Okay.
But thanks for all the demonstrations.
Okay.
Any words for the people?
I want to say is it's my pleasure to perform this to you.
Thank you so much.